The 2025-2026 Champions League semi-final clash between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich was not just a big game, it was one of the wildest matches ever witnessed in European football. Played at the Parc de France, both teams immediately displayed high-tempo football from the very first minute. No adaptation phase, no caution. The final result was a narrow 5-4 victory for PSG, but even that scoreline fails to capture how brutal the match truly was. 9 goals were scored in 90 minutes, with the flow constantly shifting, full of pressure and almost no pauses. Every mistake was punished instantly. Every chance felt like it could end in a goal, creating an atmosphere that made the match feel like a final, even though it was only the first leg. More than just the score, this game showcased a clash of two major football philosophies: Bayern's aggressive dominance versus PSG's explosive creativity. Neither team fully controlled the match, as both attacked relentlessly without compromise. PSG took the lead, Bayern responded, PSG pulled away, then Bayern closed the gap again. This pattern built tension all the way to the final minute. The match also set multiple Champions League records, making it one of the most memorable games in the competition's history. And most intriguingly, this is only the beginning. The second leg at the Alliance Arena still awaits, and everything remains open. Bayern's defensive line. Bayern Munich's defense once again became the main highlight in this dramatic defeat. Throughout the season, they had already shown signs of vulnerability, but in a Champions League semi-final of this magnitude, those weaknesses were exposed mercilessly. PSG exploited every small gap, especially on the wings and in the spaces between lines that were left too open. The speed of Kvicha Kvaratskhelia and the off-the-ball movement of Ousmane Dembele made Bayern's defensive line look constantly one step behind. Even when Bayern tried to play more aggressively with a high defensive line, it backfired, as PSG proved highly effective in quick transitions. The result was clear: 5 goals conceded, something that rarely happens at this level. The problem wasn't just tactical, it also involved mentality and coordination. Several individual errors occurred at crucial moments, including poor positioning and slow reactions to second balls. Alphonso Davies, expected to provide stability, was involved in negative moments, such as a handball that led to a penalty. Substitutions in the second half also failed to bring significant change, indicating that the issue is systemic, not just individual performance. If Bayern want to turn things around in the second leg, they must find a balance between attacking aggression and defensive discipline. Without it, their attacking strength will continue to be overshadowed by defensive weakness. PSG's young generation. One of the most striking aspects of PSG's victory was their courage to trust young players on such a big stage. In a Champions League semi-final, experience is usually key, but PSG showed otherwise. Players like Warren Zaire-Emery, João Neves, and Désiré Doué played without fear. They didn't just fill roles, they became central to the team's performance. Neves scored an important goal, Doué created dangerous chances, while Zaire-Emery controlled the tempo in midfield. They played with high confidence, as if the immense pressure had no effect on them. This success signals that PSG has entered a new phase in their project. Previously known for relying on expensive superstars, now they're building an identity based on collective strength and regeneration. The combination of youth and experience creates a balance that is difficult to match. Senior players provide stability, while younger ones bring energy and creativity. Even under Bayern's pressure, PSG's young players remained consistent in executing tactical instructions. This wasn't just a win, it was a sign of a strong foundation for the future. If this development continues, PSG could dominate Europe in the coming years. Harry Kane and the Ballon d'Or becoming more real. Despite Bayern's defeat, Harry Kane's performance remained a major highlight. As captain and attacking focal point, he showcased why he is one of the best strikers in the world. He opened the scoring with a calm penalty and remained a constant threat throughout the match. But his contribution went beyond goals. Kane actively helped build attacks, dropped into midfield to assist with distribution, and created chances for teammates. One of his precise long passes even initiated a Bayern goal, proving he is a complete player, not just a finisher. This season could mark the peak of Kane's career, especially in the Ballon d'Or race. His stats make him hard to ignore, especially if Bayern progress far in the Champions League or England performs well at the 2026 World Cup. However, the competition remains fierce. Players like Ousmane Dembele and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia also delivered exceptional performances in this match. Ultimately, the narrative will play a major role, not just statistics. If Kane leads Bayern to a back mount in the second leg, his story could shift dramatically and strengthen his chances of winning the award. In football, big moments often matter more than consistency. Records and statistics. This match immediately secured its place as one of the most historic games in Champions League history. With a total of 9 goals, it became the highest-scoring semi-final ever. Typically, matches at this stage are more cautious due to the high stakes, but PSG and Bayern delivered something completely different. They played openly, aggressively, and without compromise from the first minute, resulting in a high-tempo game rarely seen even at the top level. PSG also set a record for the most goals scored in a single Champions League season, highlighting the productivity of their attack. Beyond numbers, this match carries significant emotional and historical value. It's the kind of game that will be remembered in modern football discussions, alongside legendary encounters. The fact that it happened in a semi-final makes it even more special. If PSG continues this form into the final, and possibly defends their title, this match could be remembered as a turning point towards a new era of dominance in Europe. Bayern's 3-0 still terrifying despite defeat. Despite the loss, Bayern's attacking line showed undeniable quality. The three of Harry Kane, Luis Diaz, and Michael Olise have scored a combined 100 goals this season, an extremely rare achievement in modern football. In this match, all three contributed once again. Kane with his clinical finishing, Diaz with his speed and goal instinct, and Olise with creativity and chance creation. They're the main reason Bayern remained competitive despite being under constant pressure. However, this also highlights Bayern's biggest issue: imbalance. Their attack may be among the best in the world, but their defense fails to provide equal support. This forces Bayern to score more goals just to compensate for defensive weakness. In the long term, this approach is unsustainable, especially at the highest level. If Bayern want to return as a dominant force in Europe, they must find a balance between attack and defense. Without it, even the best front line won't be enough to win titles.
This match had everything: goals, drama, intensity, and top-level individual quality. But what made it truly special was how PSG coach Luis Enrique described it as the best match of his career. He admitted the game was at times beyond control, the tempo too fast, the emotions too intense, and the intensity inhuman. For good reason. Both teams attacked relentlessly from the start. Bayern took the lead, PSG turned the game around, Bayern fought back again, creating constant tension. Within that organized chaos, Enrique witnessed something rare: two top teams playing without fear, producing one of the greatest spectacles in Champions League history. He also highlighted the incredible individual quality on both sides, from Bayern's Harry Kane, Michael Olise, and Joshua Kimmich, to PSG's Ousmane Dembele, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and Vitinha. But one fact remains: this was only the first leg. PSG may have the advantage, but a one-goal lead guarantees nothing. The Allianz Arena will be the stage of decision, and Bayern is far from finished. So, what do you think? Who will reach the final? PSG with their young generation, or Bayern with their comeback mentality? Write your prediction in the comments, and who was your man of the match in this crazy game? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.